I would say never give up, you know. Students really need their parents' support through this whole process here at Calo. I think the family is the key that really needs the help and the support, you know. And I think that if you really absolutely love your child, then you should love them enough to let them go and let them get the help that they need on their own. It is very difficult, I know, to watch your kid, I guess, kind of grow up without you, but in the end it's actually quite rewarding. My family's actually quite proud of me that I want to go to college and, you know, get a degree in psychology when I get older and be a canine behaviorist, which is really cool, and you know, it's really worth it.
One of the toughest things, I think, about having a teenager in your life that's struggling with attachment issues is your own sense that I'm crazy, and the shame that friends, well-meaning friends and family, hand to parents of those teens, because they're saying, what, you know, little Johnny is just so fantastic around me, what's the problem? I don't understand, how could you think of residential treatment? And these kinds of comments where they just flat out don't get what life is like when you haven't got the tools yourself to help that teenager, but really the teenager hasn't got the tools. If that teen went and lived in their family for a few months, they'd get it, but you can't hand that experience to everybody. And so I do see parents coming kind of in a broken state to Calo frequently, and it's here then that they find out, oh my goodness, I'm not crazy. You get a chance to talk to other parents. We have parent support groups, we have parent seminars, and you're on campus mingling, rubbing shoulders with other phenomenal human beings who have walked the path that you're walking. You are not alone. This is not something that was of your making, and once you realize that, it's quite healing to recognize, wow, you know what, I just have something I've got to deal with that's really large. It doesn't mean that I've failed miserably. It means that I've got something to deal with that's pretty large. There's quite a difference there.
I think part of the reason that Ken and I clicked too was I have always been of the belief that the person in admissions should have a clinical background. You know, my background is as a therapist, and so when parents are calling in crisis, not that they're calling in for counseling, but it really is kind of having the understanding of how to just be able to sit with them and have a conversation, hear about where they're coming from, where they've been, and then see if maybe the journey forward might be something that is workable together. I think it's very important for us in admissions to make sure that it's the right fit for the student and the family. You know, any family can tell you that it's not an easy process. You know, there's a lot that we require, whether it's documentation or phone calls or conversations. We actually meet, you know, as the leadership team to discuss every single student and make sure that it's the right fit. We want to set up our families and students for success, and so if we feel like a student isn't the right fit, we'll let the family know on the front end, and so that they can pursue a placement that might be more appropriate for their child. We always intended to be a niche program. We always intended to be, you know, not trying to meet the needs of everybody and really trying to stay small in that sense. You know, when we started, we had 10 students, and it was kind of like a family where everybody knows everybody's dirty laundry, secrets, everything, in a good way, where you know each other well enough that you can actually be real and be vulnerable and be honest. The students know the staff very well, the staff knows the students and the families very, very well. It's actually what designed us to do teams. You know, we wanted to have that same small feel. So the intent was that we stay small and that we stay true to our niche. You know, there are great programs out there that are generalist programs, and they meet a need. We don't want to meet that need. Someone's already doing that. We felt like this need was not being met for students that have attachment and trauma-based issues, that they aren't making in other programs. Typically, students have had struggles and not made it in other settings, whether that's intensive outpatient, you know, therapeutic boarding schools, wilderness, whatever that might be. They need something specialized to meet their needs. So it was very much intended to be specialized from the get-go. I think I'm that first kind of line of support. I think that changes as the students with us. So I think initially, you know, I'm who parents know. You know, the relationship has been built with me. Even initially, students are funny because they'll talk to me and spend that time the first couple of days of enrollment, and then 6 months later they'll be like, "You're the first person I ever saw at Calo," or whatever. And I think parents, I'm kind of their safety net early on, that I'm the person they have the relationship with. If they have a question or they have a concern, they can call and talk to me. I think that changes as they're here longer. They have more touch bases, more contacts, but really their therapist becomes that. But whether it's me or Landon or Ken or any member of ELT, we want to be available and transparent. We're all on campus. We're here on a daily basis. It's not like we're off and about. You know, we're very much connected. And so I think our parents experience that, where they feel like they know that the owners and founders are here on campus, and that they're open and available, you know, to them as they need them.